Hello guys, my name is Saurabh Tripathi and welcome to the Current Affairs Interceptor YouTube channel. Today is 8th May and we are going to learn very important current affairs for your preparation. India's first UAV bomber has been unveiled by Flying Wedge Defense. What is it named? FWD 200B, FWD 300B, FWD 400B, FWD 500B. It is called FWD 200B. If you look closely, FWD means Flying Wedge Defense, the name of the company. It is a Bangalore based company, and B stands for Bomber. 200 is a series of UAV and B stands for Bomber. It is extremely cost effective unmanned aerial vehicle, which is also called UAV or drone, and it will reduce reliance on foreign countries. It has precision strike capability. It has guided missiles like strike capability. It can travel 370 km per hour, which is very impressive. And at present, the best bomber drone is called MQ-9 Reaper or Predator drones, and it is developed by United States. India has purchased 31 MQ-9B Reaper drones in February this year from United States. So once again, India's own company known as Flying Wedge Defense. It is a Bangalore based company, has developed its own drone, and it is called FWD 200B. It is not only cost effective but also extremely powerful, reliable, and equipped with modern technologies and precise strike capability. India has multiple UAVs developed by itself. Lots of indigenous UAVs are developed by India. DRDO's Rustam is a very famous UAV or drone. It is a medium altitude, long endurance, also called MALE UAV. The Rustam is designed for surveillance. Surveillance means to find out enemies' activities using this drone. Another one is Tapas BH-201. It is also called Rustam 2, and it is an advanced version of the Rustam UAV with advanced capabilities for higher altitude and longer endurance. So once again, DRDO has developed Rustam drone, and it is used for surveillance. It is a medium altitude, long endurance UAV, and its advanced version is called Rustam 2, and its name is Tapas BH-201. Lots of other drones have been developed. Just have a look at it. Nishant, Laksh and Bharat. They are more or less same. For example, Laksh is a pilotless target aircraft used for target practice, and Bharat described it world's most agile and lightest surveillance drone. It is called Bharat. Nishant is a tactical UAV capable of being launched from a hydro-pneumatic launcher. So India has multiple drones, Nishant, Laksh or Bharat, and Rustam 2 is named as Tapas BH-201. So once again, Flying Wedge Defense FWD 200B is a bomber UAV developed by Bangalore based company known as Flying Wedge Defense. It is extremely cost effective and it will reduce reliance on foreign countries. It has precision strike capability and can travel up to 370 km per hour. Recently, first freestanding 2D sheet of gold was made named Goldine by which country? France, Switzerland, China or Sweden? It is Sweden. The scientist from Sweden has made Goldine. Goldine is taken from the word graphene, and it is a first freestanding 2D sheet of gold. So let's have a look about what is Goldine. This gold sheet is just 1 mm thick and it has used Murakami reagent. Goldine is a single atom thick. That is, it is called 2D. Means it has no height. That is why it is called 2D atom. Murakami reagent was traditionally used in knife making in Japanese culture, and gold sheet that was made named Goldine used Murakami's reagent. Please remember this important. And what is meant by freestanding? Freestanding means capable of being self-supporting without the need for a base. It is the thinnest possible sheet of gold. Its name is Goldine because it is similar to graphene. It can be used to reversalize electronics industry due to very high conductivity. As we know, when we use equipments in electronics, we want to reduce its resistance as much as possible. Means we want to increase its conductivity. Goldine, it can be used to reversalize electronics industry It can be used in semiconductor, catalyst as well as sensing device. So it is an advanced material, it is an advanced research based outcome, and its name is Goldene. It has used Murakami's reagent, and it is a single atom thick. Its thickness is just 1 mm. Jose Raul Mulino has won the presidential election and soon will be president of which country? Algeria, Mexico, Panama or Brazil? It is Panama. Jose Raul Mulino has won the presidential election of Panama. He was earlier minister in Panama. Panama is a Latin American country. Its currency is called Balboa or United States dollar. They use both the currencies. Language is Spanish, and Panama connects North America to South America. Panama is a country. It connects to North America to South America, and there is a canal. It was artificial canal. It is a man-made canal that was made in Panama, and it connects Pacific Ocean to Atlantic Ocean. It is a very strategic route. It allows passing of multiple, cargo ships, and it allows or helps Panama country lots of in its GDP. Panama is a country and its capital is called Panama City. Just like we have Singapore, just like we have, Vatican. Vatican has its own Vatican City. In a similar manner, Panama is a country and its biggest city or capital is called Panama City. So Jose Raul Mulino has won the presidential election and soon will be president of Panama. India and which country has joined hand in cooperation in field of energy and local currency settlement? Ghana, Democratic Republic of Congo, Niger or Nigeria? So it is Nigeria. India and Nigeria has joined hand in multiple areas, in multiple cooperation areas, not just only energy, local currency, but also lots of trade, economy, tourism, agriculture and various other areas have been discussed in this. And Nigeria is a country in West Africa. Its capital is called Abuja. Currency is called Naira, and economy is based on one of the largest oil producers. Nigeria is known for being the most populous country in Africa continent. So India and Nigeria has joined hand in the field of energy and local currency settlement. What is local currency settlement? In local currency settlement, for example, if we Indians go to Nigeria, we can buy things using Indian rupees. We don't need to convert in their own local currency, which is called Naira. We just go and use Indian rupees and purchase things in Nigeria. In a similar fashion, Nigerian citizens can come to India and buy using Nigerian currency, which is called Naira. They don't need to exchange into Indian rupees to purchase things. So this currency settlement allows trade boost and saves cost in currency conversion and increases, lots of cooperation and development, boosting up trade, reduces the friction and barriers, and further enhances, cooperation and cohesiveness between two countries. So once again, India and Nigeria has joined hand in multiple avenues such as energy, local currency settlement. World Asthma Day is celebrated on. Some people read it asthma, some it call asthma. Just a difference of pronunciation, nothing to be very precise about it. Second Sunday of May, third Tuesday of June, second Tuesday of May or fourth Monday of June. It is observed on second Tuesday of May, and Asthma Day theme is Asthma Education Empowers. It is a day to observe, spread awareness about the asthma disease and the causes of it, reduce stigma about it so that people come forward and get treated. Asthma is a respiratory disease. It can be genetic, means it can be from generation to generation. It can be caused from pollens. It can be caused by allergies. It can be caused by poor air quality, such as people living at industrial locations where lots of pollutants are suspended in the air. When inhaled for extended period of time, it can cause asthma. It is caused by narrowing of airways, means those airways who supply air inside our body get narrowed and the patient feels difficulty in breathing. So once again, Asthma Day is observed on second Tuesday of May, and this year second Tuesday falls on 7th May in 2024. Remember this, Date keeps changing, but the main thing is second Tuesday of May. Play True campaigning has been launched by NADA, NABARD, SEBI or SIDBI. So Play True campaign has been launched by NADA. NADA means National Anti-Doping Agency, and Play True, the campaign aimed to educate athletes, coaches and sportsmen about importance of fair play and anti-doping practices. Let's discuss about what is anti-doping, what is fair play and what is NADA. Doping. Doping means use of prohibited substances or methods by athletes to gain unfair advantage in sports competitions. Means athletes consume certain medicines, certain foods to increase their body capacity, their strength to gain unfair advantage in sports competition compared to normal individual. So prohibited substances can include performance enhancing drugs, also called PEDs, and sports bodies such as World Anti-Doping Agency WADA all prohibits consuming of such substances, such foods or such drugs before any event such as Olympics or any big sports event or any sports. It is highly prohibited. Before participating in sports activities, player has to go anti-doping test, and if person is found having consumed any such substances, he is penalized and expelled from that event or certain period of years. So the World Anti-Doping Agency WADA is organization responsible for preventing doping. NADA is a national anti-doping agency. It works in similar manner as WTA at national level. So NADA is India's doping agency, and it follows rules and restrictions, regulations as prescribed by WADA to prevent doping in sports activities. And NADA has recently launched a campaign named as Play True. So now you understand what it means by Play True. It means playing without any use of substances or doping. Recently, FLRIT is the new COVID variant, is rapidly spreading in his country, United States, China, South Korea or Japan. So it is United States. FLRIT flood variant is the new COVID variant of Omicron, and it is spreading rapidly in United States. Recently, where 7,000-year-olds prehistoric settlement were discovered. Is it Romania, China, Mongolia or Serbia? It is Serbia. In Serbia, archaeologists have found 7,000-year-old prehistoric settlement, and it tells a lot about earlier version of human existence in those areas. So prehistoric settlement means habitations before human history has been written, and this discovery points to late Neolithic period. Serbia is a Central European country. Its capital is called Belgrade. It is a city. Its currency is called Serbian dinar. Please remember this, it is important questions because people associate dinar currency mostly related to Middle East, but remember that despite being its European country, its currency is called Serbian dinar and sometimes dinar. So 7,000-year-olds prehistoric settlement has been discovered in Serbia. Border Roads Organization has celebrated its Racing Day 59th, 60th, 64th or 65th. It is 65th Racing Day. Border Road Organization was established in 7th May 1960, and yesterday 7th May it has completed on 65th Racing Day. BRO is a government organization under the Ministry of Defence in India. It focuses on infrastructure in remote and inaccessible areas, especially along India's border and neighboring countries. Since it comes under Ministry of Defence, it works for military. It makes roads in inaccessible areas in tough terrains such as mountainous terrains, mountainous regions. It makes bridges on the rivers which are nearly impossible. The roads which are nearly impossible have been made by Border Road Organization. As it comes under Ministry of Defence, it works for military, and as name suggests, it focuses on infrastructure in remote and border areas of India. International Firefighters Day is also on 3rd May, 4th May, 5th May or 7th May. It is 4th May. Firefighters play huge role in society. In case of emergencies, fire emergencies, they risk their lives, they fight for saving people, they rescue people. Their service towards the international service to the humankind, to the community, to the people, and it is a day to applaud their work, applaud their achievement, applaud their hard work, bravery and sacrifice of firefighters who risk their lives to save people during events of fires, to save animals during forest fires, protecting communities from fires and other emergencies. India has recently allowed export of 14,000 tons of non-basmati rice to which country? Malaysia, Mauritius, Kenya or Sri Lanka? It is Mauritius. India will export 14,000 tons of non-basmati rice to Mauritius country. So I have written this so that not to waste your time, you can quickly understand it. Mauritius is an island country and it is in Indian Ocean. This is Africa continent and this is Madagascar, and Mauritius is in Indian Ocean somewhere east of Madagascar. It is east of Madagascar. Its capital is called Port Louis and currency is called Mauritian rupee. So India has allowed export of 14,000 tons of non-basmati rice to Mauritius. Who has launched India's first commercial MCU, system on chip, or also called SoC? Mind Group, AMD India, Qualcomm India or Intel India. So it is Mind Group. Is an Indian company and it has launched system of chip, also known as SoC. It is the first commercial MCU chip. MCU stands as microcontroller unit and system of chip stands as SoC. So Mind Group has launched India's first commercial MCU SoC chip. Mind Group Technologies launches Secure IoT. The name of the chip is called Secure IoT. It is based on RISC-V. RISC is a type of computer chip design and it could potentially be used in smartphones. So Mind Group Technology is a IIT Madras incubated semiconductor startup company. So what is SoC and what is IoT? The name of the chip is called Secure IoT, as you know. SoC means system of chip. A single chip, it contains CPU means processor. It contains GPU, graphics processing unit. It contains image processing unit. It contains various ICs. It contains everything in single chip. And SoCs are used in small devices such as smartphones. While in computers, CPUs are separate, GPUs are separate, other chips are separate. And in smartphones, due to restriction of space, due to consumption of power requirement, these are made into single chip and it is called system on chip. System on chip means entire system. CPU system, GPU system, memory system, every system is on single chip. That is why it is called system on chip. Unlike desktop computers where CPU, GPU, memory, it's all out separate parts. IoT is called Internet of Things. In simple words, IoT is a concept or IoT is a application where everything such as your fridge, your TV, your computer, your AC, everything is connected to internet. Your home security camera, it is connected to internet. It syncs together. Suppose you have single app and you can control all this using this app. So it all connected to internet and using those internet you can use a app to control all these. You can turn off your camera, you can turn on your camera, you can turn off your AC, you can turn off your TV. So this is called Internet of Things, means lots of small devices are connected to internet and SoC is system of chip. So it is IIT Madras incubated startup and it is called Mind Group. It has developed India's first system of chip, commercial system of chip known as MCU or also called microcontroller chip unit, and it is called Secure IoT. The name of this chip is called Secure IoT. Who has been appointed as chairman and MD? MD means Managing Director of NSIC. Amitabh Chaudhary, A. Bhushan Kumar, Shekhar Acharya or Sumit Goyal. It is Shekhar Acharya. Shekhar Acharya has been appointed as chairman and Managing Director of NIC. What is NSIC? NSIC is a government organization established in 1955. Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises in India, and it works in a similar fashion as SIDBI, SIDBI stands as Small Industries Development Bank of India. It works as a bank while NSIC works as facilitator between MSME and stakeholder. So NSIC and SIDBI both focuses on MSMEs, means micro, small and medium enterprises, but SIDBI gives loans because it is a bank, as name suggests, Small Industries Development Bank of India. And NSIC also works for MSMEs, startups, and the purpose of NSIC is to focus on providing non-financial support, services and intervention to address specific needs. So it's basically it focuses on specific issues of startups. It does not give funds, but it can direct the startups to what the required fund it can provide. So basically it works as facilitator, while SIDBI also works for MSMEs, but it works as bank. So these were today's current affairs. If you have any doubt or any feedback, please let me know in comment section. I will answer each your doubt. Any doubt if you have regarding the current affairs, I will take your feedback and implement it. And please let me know in comment section. I suggest to please keep learning every day. Do not miss current affairs any day. Just keep building yourself layer by layer by layer by layer, and you will be at top 8 one day. Just believe in yourself and keep learning. Do not get distracted. Do your best every day. Make your timetable. Focus on your studies. Do not get distracted. Have faith in your studies. Have faith in your abilities. And more importantly, have faith in higher power. Also, if you have enjoyed this session, please like this video. Please subscribe to this channel so that you can get timely updates. So these were today's current affairs from my side. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day.